Most of these boys and young men fled Afghanistan weeks ago as the Taliban took over their country. To get here to Turkey, many walked all the way across Iran and passed through barbed wire and trenches. Some run at the sight of journalists, afraid we are police who will either detain them or send them back across the border to Iran.
My friend called me and said, the police arrested, beat us up, and sent us back to Iran after we got to Turkey. When people call me from Afghanistan, I say, do not try this way. It is too hard and dangerous.
Turkey is also expanding this 3-meter-high border wall with Iran, primarily to prevent more refugees from entering the country. Turkey hosts more than 4 million refugees and asylum seekers, more than any other country in the world. And many Turkish people we talk to say it is a strain on their economy. But refugees say they did not choose to leave their country, their property, and often even their families. Last month, the Taliban took over Afghanistan ahead of the planned U.S. withdrawal after 20 years of war. Across the country, people fled in fear the group would harm or execute civilians as they did in the 1990s for a number of reasons. Perhaps they worked for the U.S. military or the internationally supported Afghan army. Perhaps they are Shiite Muslims or women who want to work or attend school. After the Taliban took the capital, Kabul, they announced plans to rule Afghanistan in a more moderate way than the organization operated during their previous rule. But after decades of violence and fear, many refugees say they do not believe this new Taliban will be any less brutal.
The Taliban occupied my country and there was war. We couldn't live there, so I had to leave.
This boy cut his legs on barbed wire as he crossed the border. 20 days later, the cuts are still raw, and he has no disinfectant. The group is hungry and exhausted as they move from hiding place to hiding place, one day after fleeing a police raid. And the group says they will not seek medical help for fear of getting caught. Other refugees say the wall, the barbed wire, and the trenches are not the hardest obstacles they face.
2 or 3 people approached us in the forest with guns and knives. If we didn't give them our stuff, they would cut us. If we did, we would suffer with no supplies.
Most refugees we meet here have stories of being robbed, beaten, or kidnapped for ransom. But, they say, the alternative would have been to die at home. Heather Murdock, VOA News, Van, Tatvan, and the Turkish border with Iran.